How much? How you doing? Thank you for joining us. So, we react. We have opinions, we have chat, we do reviews, but we sometimes just like to see something, a story that grabs us on the internet, and we break it apart, we break it down. She's the news hound, like a news dog, sniffing for stories and videos and all that kind of stuff that we can have some fun and mess around with. And boy, has she found a doozy today. She's found one that made me scratch my head like, say what?
Well, I discovered a story that said that's about an LA couple who went viral after spending $500
$500
on their wedding day.
Like,
Say what?
in 2022?
Yeah, $500.
How on earth does that? You wouldn't even
If that was
buy the catering.
I
with that.
know. I'm thinking about the
The
photography, the decorations, the cake, and the list goes on.
Did they like do it in a shoebox?
I know. It's like, boy, if I can find out that, I'll go back 18 years ago and spend that much on my
have a look and see the madness, because there's cheap and then there's like, let's check this out and see the madness and see what's going on. So let's watch this. I'm gonna watch the video first. It's an article. We've seen it on foxatlanta.com. So let's watch.
A breathtaking wedding with mountain views was the setting for Joel and Kiara Brokenbrough's big day on February 12th.
It was just so refreshing just being at that wedding day, just seeing her.
A dream come true on a budget. The couple spent just $500 for their wedding, including the venue and reception. Their wedding is now viral on social media.
We didn't set a budget, but we knew that we wanted to be as frugal as possible. So however we could cut costs, like that was the goal.
The original plan was a courthouse wedding. She's a bride. But Kiara wanted something different.
I was like, well, we should do like an elopement type thing with family. And then I thought of that place. And I was like, oh, well, let me see if it can happen. I did my research and it could.
That place was off the Angeles Crest Highway, which ended up costing nothing because the couple only invited 30 to 40 people, well under the number needed to buy a public permit. Their loved ones also chipped in for items like the cake and flowers. And for their outfits, Kiara spent just $47 on her wedding dress, and Joel's suit was $100.
And I actually still wear the pants. You know, if I want to go out, I can still wear the pants. I can still wear the vest if need be, the bow tie if need be.
The reception was held at Misty's Lounge in the Inland Empire. There was no reservation, but the couple arrived when the venue opened, and guests paid for food and drinks themselves. The Brokenbroughs say their guests were very supportive.
The people who paid to fly out here came to a wedding, and then, you know, they knew that they would, you know, if they wanted food and drinks, that's available for purchase. So they knew that. And they came, I didn't hear anyone complain.
The couple wanted an intimate wedding to honor their love story. And they say that was accomplished, no matter the budget.
If you feel like you need to get married, let our wedding be assigned to you, that it doesn't take all that and that it can definitely happen.
The beautiful couple honeymooned in Mexico following their wedding day, and that was separate from the $500 wedding budget, but they documented their entire journey on social media. We have all of the information on our website, foxla.com. I'm Coco McAvoy, Fox 11 News.
I love that name, Coco McAvoy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm Coco McAvoy. I'm like,
$100 for you.
that is mad. So Joel and Kiara Brokenbrough.
Wow.
They met back in 2016 in Vegas, kept in touch on social media. They reconnected in 2018 and they began dating shortly afterwards, the article says. The couple said they both connected over their spirituality and were engaged for 1 month before getting married on February the 12th, 2022. Sorry. You know, the original plan was to have a courthouse wedding. That's what the video said. So a Hollywood wedding, an LA wedding for $500. No wonder this hit the news. But Kiara, she's savvy. Kiara is a social media manager and content creator. It's all about the gram, all about gram life, and hopes to become a full-time content creator. Well, she's got a big lead up now with this video gone viral. Joel is a former professional basketball player who played in several countries and now coaches basketball at North Hollywood High School, along with teaching PE. the couple documented their entire journey on social media, which can be found on Kiara's Instagram, all about the gram, YouTube, and TikTok. Wow. So Joel and Kiara.
Wow. Joel and Kiara.
Joel and Kiara. So,
Oh my gosh.
obviously it helps to grow social media content if you come up with the big idea. And obviously the big idea here is wedding for $500. But what are your thoughts? What are your initial thoughts?
500. My initial thoughts on a wedding of $500 is how on earth, how much did everything cost? Like literally from the cake to the shoes. I know how much her wedding dress was $47.
Yeah, well, we know how much the wedding dress costs, and that's usually one of the big show pieces of a whole wedding.
But his suit is $100. Could you wear a suit for $100?
Well, he kept the trousers, you know, and that's a good thing. He got to use that as a practical thing.
Yeah.
Clearly, you know the bit where they said their guests and who flew in, so the guests spent a lot of money. They rolled up at a hotel and everyone paid for themselves.
I'm like, with that.
I wish we had friends like that where they're like, we don't, don't worry about spending several £1,000s on feeding us. We'll roll and just.
I don't think that we would have people that we'd invite to our wedding. I don't think they'd be willing to pay for their own food and drink.
Well, let's get the negatives out. I mean, I'll share what I think are negatives, then we'll talk about what we think are positives, and then we'll put a bow on it. I think the negatives are if it's one day.
Yeah.
And some people say, oh, it's only a day, wedding's only a day, but it's a special day. It's like, we've got children. You wouldn't say, oh, it's only a day when your child is born, especially your firstborn, or it's only a day when it's their first birthday. A lot can happen in a day. A lot can happen in a day. And a day can be very, very special. And I think if you intend to only get married once, then you kind of want to make sure that that is the best optimum day possible. I know a marriage is not a day. A wedding's a day. A marriage, hopefully, people go into it with the right intentions for a lifetime. I think that said, you don't want to cheap out on this is the thing. People wouldn't go on a second date with you, with a dude. It's usually that way around. If he don't pay for them and don't take them somewhere nice. Your first date, McDonald's. I don't think that's gonna fly. You probably won't get a second date. Brothers, don't take your intended to McDonald's your first date. That's not cool. So if you cheaped out in that way, there's an argument that says, why on your wedding day would you be cheap too? Because some people could spend that much in a restaurant. Easy, huh? Easy $500. So that's one negative. The other one is, if you've got friends, good for the friends. That's true friends to travel, because air travel isn't generally that cheap anyway. Even if it's within the States, it's still more, it's still a bit of money. For you to pay for an air fare, buy your outfit, what you're wearing, get a gift, because I wonder if there's gifts too, and bring your backside to this wedding, and then have to pay for your food and drink on top. We come from a background, I am Nigerian heritage. Nigerian, African, I'm African heritage via Southeast London. And it's, for example, birthdays in Nigerian culture, if you put on a party, you pay for your guests. Even if it's like in a restaurant, you pay for everybody, because it's the whole thing of you are hosting and you're paying. So the notion of you inviting people, but they have to pay their way at something like a wedding is quite foreign in certain cultures and actually offensive. So there's that angle, that it's a little bit of a liberty to expect people to pay to be at your wedding and put themselves out at cost. So there's that angle. There's also the thing of, when are you going to spend money? If you can't spend money on the beginning of your nuptials and really go for it then, when are you going to go for it? Is it going to be, all right, well, we'll do it cheap this time, but the next person I marry, it's going to be big. It's going to be like a Kardashian wedding or the Beckhams. So, yeah, they're kind of the negatives out the way. And also the sense of, perhaps could it be a bit of a gimmick that they were doing it for the gram? You know, how can we're going to get married, so how can we do it in a way where we can kind of make a bit of a name for ourselves? Like, we'll do it really cheap. So then Fox Atlanta, Fox wherever, or whatever news outlets and media outlets can then cover it, and then we can get a big social media following. I mean, in terms of negatives, is there any negatives that you have about this?
I've got loads of negatives. I'm like, I was like, 47. She paid $47 on her dress. He paid $100 on his outfit.
On his dress.
On his dress, yeah. On his outfit. I'm like, there's no way I would be paying £47 was in UK on my dress. Because
I was gonna say $47. We ain't got. They take dollars in our shops and be like, "We're giving this funny money."
And $500 on their wedding day.
Yeah.
It makes me think, oh my goodness, like what? How on earth what did everything cost? So you got the cake, you got the catering, you got the wedding pictures, which wedding pictures are very important for your wedding day, because it's something you're going to look back on all the time.
Here's a tip: spend more on the photos. It's not just because I was a former photographer and did weddings. Spend more money on the photos, folks, than on the food and the drink and all that and the DJ. Because why? The pictures are going to last forever. You're going to be thumbing through the album, showing your kids one day, your grandkids, and they're not going to say, "Oh, what did you drink on the wedding day, granddad, grandma?"
And also they did say,
"What did you shake your butt to on the dance floor?"
That they were providing, family provided like flowers and stuff like that, so family chipped in. But it's like, it's your big day. The one day you're going to spend loads of money. To go cheap out for me is like, nah, I wouldn't be able to spend like, for us, like, what, £47 in UK money on my dress. If it was
$500 on the dress, I'd be like, that's relative, that's still cheap. But $47.
$47, that's cheaping out. That's like, I mean, obviously your dress, you're not going to wear it again, but that's not the point. It's your wedding day. Why would you spend so little?
Because even if you made it like fabric to make something, so to be honest though, it didn't look bad. When you're looking at the dress, it looked okay.
It looked fine, actually. But still,
especially on the pictures, it looked okay.
I mean, they had a nice location as well, didn't they?
Yeah.
LA, obviously.
I'll get married in LA.
Nice scenery.
I'll marry somebody else in LA, sorry, babe. Just to be in front of the Hollywood sign. They'll be like, hello.
No, I couldn't cheap out on I wouldn't be able to do $500.
Okay. No. Just in case you think we are Scrooges and we're going bar humbug and we're negative Nancy's, negative Nillies, I'm going to flip it around to the positive, which I actually see far more positives. I'm probably, you can be the negative one, it's fine. We're different.
We are.
I'm going to be positive. How refreshing is it to see, number one, a young couple get married and not be like, oh, marriage is just a piece of paper. Oh, marriage, you don't need to get married to show you love each other. Listen, you do you, boo. Whatever relationship, as long as it's legal, it's safe, there's no, it's not dangerous or criminal, you do relationship you want. But we're a bit traditional in that we think marriage is important, we think marriage is great. So as a young couple, we want to encourage them to say, yeah, you did the right thing. Because some people put off a wedding to say, oh, it needs to be big and lavish and expensive. No, it don't. This couple here just proved it. It don't need to be no Hello magazine, OK magazine, big TV Hollywood movie production. Just get married. It's the two of you and those who really care about you. Listen, if you're telling me I've got to pay for my meal and my drink to be at your wedding, I must really love you. I really love you if I'm going to fly my ass to your wedding, pay for the airfare, pay for hotel, all that stuff. I must really love you. So clearly you want people at your wedding that really are there for you and not there, because a lot of weddings, people come, I think, for the food and for the, the perks, the social life. Oh, I've got nothing to do. I'll come for your wedding, innit? And come late to the evening reception. So number one, well done for taking that bold step and frugal step as well, because that's sensible. Because I know how much you want to spill our coffee, not tea, it's coffee. But if you remember, we spent a few years paying off our wedding, didn't we?
Yeah, we did, didn't we? I mean, do we want to say how much we spent on
No,
it?
don't say how much, but just give us a feel of what it was like those first few years.
Yeah, those
post
I remember,
wedding.
Yeah, those first few years, it took us a good old probably about 2.5, 3 years to pay off our wedding.
Yeah.
Because it was a big spender. So, and obviously when we got through that, I was paying off all the debts. I was like, it was so relieved because it was like a big burden, but it was worth it. I disagree with you.
What do you mean?
I disagree with you, Tony. The spending.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm like, this is your.
Yeah, because you weren't the one working day and night, to quote Michael Jackson, to pay it off. She got me working day and night. I'm so tired, I cry at night.
No, because it's like this is your only day. The only day you're gonna spend all this money. Why not splash out? Why not have that?
Let's switch your mic off.
No.
Well, let me finish the positives, because you're going to have to come up with some positives. So, number one, they got married. Number two, they were frugal. Like I said, debt is not fun. However much you love someone, your love will be tested when you've got a huge bill in front of you and you're like, caramba. You realize that spend a number of years paying off those debts. And you're thinking, why did I get married? Why did I get married? Tyler Perry, why did I get married 3? So then there is that sense that they're very sensible in that they've been able to, and also it's going to be memorable, because usually people think throwing money at a wedding makes it more memorable. No, it don't. This will be remembered for the different reasons, how cheap it was, but also with the social media presence and it went viral. I think there'll be people think it's romantic. So it's sensible. They've saved money because listen, the marriage is what it's about. The wedding is the centerpiece, it's the celebration, but the marriage is what it's about. What good is it to have spent thousands and tens of thousands, in some cases, like, was it the David and Victoria Beckham's son? It was like 3 million or whatever.
Yeah.
What good would that be if they ended up divorcing like 2 years later? There's no value in it. It's been one expensive day and no fruit. And hopefully,
But it's not
all the best, Brooklyn Beckham. Hope your marriage is a long-lasting one and many happy returns. But you know what I'm saying? To spend a lot of money for something and then the pattern is that people split up within 2 minutes, that's wastage. So that's number 2. Number 3, I think maybe the biggest one for me is how refreshing is it to see and I'm going to making it about race, but a black couple who are saving money rather than blowing money. And I know, don't come back at me, but the stereotype is, not even the stereotype, you look at statistics. I don't know what it's like, in the UK it might be different, but from what we've read about in the States, the African Americans are called black, whichever term you want to choose, the community spends a lot, particularly on certain things like hair and products and beauty products, but doesn't circulate that wealth amongst their community, say, compared to, say, like the Jewish community and stuff like that. And we watched that documentary about the black wealthy. There's one lady who's like saying, buy black. She was obsessed with buying black. She's like, buy everything. Is the packet of potato chips, is it black owned business maker? The hair product, black owned. Toiletries, is it black owned? And she was very much about supporting black business. That she was all about that life. And I can see it. It's like, you want to, because other groups tend to circulate the money within their own communities. I don't think it's not racist. It's just like saying, well, why should my own community be poor, be broke? So seeing this couple being frugal, saving their money, setting an example, doesn't have to be bling. You don't have to be a baller or a pop star, superstar wedding or trying to be that. I think it's positive because hopefully they will use whatever money they come from their successes to build themselves up, to build their family, to build a community, and set an example that the values are not, it's not about going wild and out. It's not about wilding out. It's not Nick Cannon's show, wilding out. You can save some dollars, some bucks, save a buck. Yeah, save a buck and invest it wisely. There's people like Boyce Watkins who talks all about economy. Check him out. We can't add too many numbers together. So if you want financial advice, I've seen Dr. Boyce Watkins a few times and he's pretty sharp on that, especially from the the sort of Black American wealth perspective. But I think he'd agree that it's a good thing that this couple were using wisdom, because it's quite known within the community for people just to go wild and out with their money and regret it later. But what do you think on that particular point?
I know, I don't.
You don't agree? You don't agree, do you? You
I don't agree on this one.
I like wilding out.
I don't agree on this one.
I like running up credit card
I
bills.
don't agree on this one because I'm like, as you said, it's like, okay, Dr. Boyce Watkins would agree with that, but it's like, it's only one day. It's not like they're splashing out in a big shopping haul or something. It's one day of their wedding, and then it's done. Once it's done, isn't it? So I think.
But it's not done, because that's the point. We were still paying for that day.
I know, but not
years after that one day.
I know that.
Yeah, remember?
Not everyone gets into debt over their wedding.
Okay. So it was us, really. It was our fault. Yeah.
No,
okay.
I'm sure there's obviously other couples who have gone into debt with their wedding, but
many a couple.
Yeah, many a couple. But it's like, I disagree with you, T, on that one, because I just think if you're only intending to get married once, like most people are, they wouldn't want to get divorced.
Some people don't get married nonce. They're like, no, it's too expensive. So this is an example that it doesn't have to be expensive. $500 bucks.
No, because I'm sorry, but I couldn't spend $500 on my wedding. That's too cheap.
So you'd rather stay unmarried? You'd rather stay unmarried then?
I'll be married, but I'm spending the money.
So you want your cake, your wedding cake, and eat it too. So what if it was a choice between being single or married for $500? You had to make the choice. Which would you do?
Oh man, I don't know. I want
nothing but a gold digger.
No, but I'm trying to think.
She hang with a broke.
Listen to me. I'm trying to think. What would our wedding look like on £500 then?
Not very nice.
I don't think it would look great.
No.
What my dress look like? My shoes, my
just
tiara.
About did it on the budget we had.
And also, what is this including honeymoon then?
Oh.
Or are they honeymooning in LA?
They can go in and
so nice.
They can go in and out.
In and out.
In and out burger. You know.
I'm like, £500 wouldn't even touch our wedding. Like literally half of it.
No.
So I don't see how, for me personally, it wouldn't stretch.
So what do you think? Are you team T? Come on. Do you agree with me that this is a positive role model for would-be newlyweds, for the community, for couples thinking, you know what, we don't have to live up to the stereotype and have a rapper, basketballer, bling to the hilt wedding. We can let love live, and there's no price tag on love. As long as they're married, that's what matters. Are you with Gold Digger here?
Or do you agree with me? Because I'm saying, listen, do not spend $500. You need to splash out. It's the only wedding day you're gonna ever have, unless you intend to divorce. Because listen, it's not gonna stretch. The shoes, the tiara, all the glitzy stuff. Come on, don't agree with him, because that's just like, nah.
Leave the comments below and let's see who's right. Be there.
I'm gonna win anyway.
We need a referee, because this is gonna get ugly. It's gonna get fierce, and we'll try and make it cheap. Not gonna be expensive. But you know these boxing matches on YouTube is like $1 million, whatever. We ain't got that. We ain't got that kind of money. We ain't got time for that. So thanks for watching. You can catch us on more videos on our playlist. Have a good one wherever you are, and we will see you real soon.
Bye.
I win. Vote for me. Vote for me.
Hey, thank you so much for watching. If you really enjoyed this video, please subscribe below, where also we have more videos on entertainment, opinion, and chat. You're really going to enjoy it. Also, if you really enjoy it that much, we have a weekly podcast on all platforms. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.